Hello Paul and Lorraine, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us and congratulations on the sale of your property. Now, as I understand, you did take your property to auction, and although you received numerous offers, you didn't quite get the offer that you were looking for.
No, I guess it was a high expectation, but it was looking at doubling the price that we paid for the house initially. And it didn't quite get to where we wanted at the time, so I guess we were just a bit too optimistic.
Marco, what happened next?
Following a property passing in on a Saturday, we have a sales meeting on a Monday. We discuss it at length, the property with its attributes, and look at our database to see if anybody's new or past that should know about the home. We also look at the marketing and ensure that the property is fully exposed and not forgotten.
Now Paul and Lorraine, as I understand, you met Stephen on several occasions and you got along quite well with him.
Yes, we had no problems with Steve. He was a gentleman. He often had to wait for me to finish getting ready when he arrived. It was okay. But no, it was great. We formed a good friendship, and Steve got on with our dog, which was a blessing. So no, it was a fairly natural interaction.
Now Steve, what steps did you put in place to ensure a successful sale for Paul and Lorraine?
Yeah, look, when I first came down here with Marco to look at the property after the auction, and obviously I was here on the day, I loved the home. I just felt that I had a buyer somewhere within my database that would buy this home. So I discussed with Marco and I said, look, this is a strategy that I'd like to put in place. I spoke with Paul and Lorraine and asked them if they could keep the home in exactly the same condition that it was for auction day, which they did, and it was fabulous. And we managed through marketing and through our database contacts to be able to find ultimately the buyer.
Now Paul and Lorraine, what did you think about Steve's approach and also about keeping your house spick and span?
Well, every Saturday we went to a lot of trouble to try and meet the expectations what we considered to be prospective buyers in relation to the property, and we discussed with Steve every Saturday before the open home what we thought the prospective buyers might be that were coming through, and we then went off and had a cup of coffee or did something else, and we always made sure we didn't keep Steve waiting when we got back, and we had a short, quick rundown of what he thought were the prospective buyers, and we were quite happy with his approach and the fact that we were kept fully informed of all the circumstances, who might or who might not be interested in buying the home, what faults or deficiencies they found with the property, and in the end we were lucky enough through Steve to find the ideal couple who managed at the end of the day with a lot of toing and froing to purchase the property at a price that we were fairly happy with.
Now Paul and Lorraine, is there anything else you could tell us about your experience dealing with Rich and Oliva as your agent, and would you recommend them?
Oh, of course I would. I mean, they never stopped trying to sell the property. It was always, yes, we're going to have another open home, and I go, oh no. And they were we get a day's warning if they were bringing someone through the next night, and I go, oh no. But it sold. It's the bottom line is it worked out. There was a lot of trouble for them too. I mean, the work they put in was exemplary. And yes, I would recommend them to anybody. Well, we bought this property through them, and I was pleased that we sold it through them too, yes.
Lorraine and Paul, how did you go about selecting Rich and Oliva as your agent?
Well, when we first bought the property in 2007, it was through Rich and Oliva real estate agents, and we had no idea they existed. We did not live in the inner west at that period of time. And we dealt with Marco, and we found Marco to be more than cooperative. I remember at one stage there, we had a solicitor engaged at Parramatta, and Marco went out of his way to come to Parramatta to pick up certain documents, was expedited the actual sale of the property, and we thought that was quite outstanding from a real estate agency point of view. In the marketing aspect, we decided, well, we bought the property through Rich and Oliva, so Lorraine and I had a long and varied discussion. We had a number of agents out here, and they all thought they could sell the property, and they all put forward their points of view as far as why we should go with them and why we shouldn't go with other real estate agents. So in the end, we decided to go with Rich and Oliva, and we did so. And whilst we were disappointed at times with the fact that people weren't buying our home, because everyone has expectations that you'll sell your home, and we thought we had a very nice home to sell. But they encouraged us to remain solid and to remain firm. We did receive a number of phone calls from other agents asking us to go with them because they felt that they could sell the property, and they were the new breed or the new school, and Rich and Oliva were the old school. A couple of the other agents became quite upset by the fact that we had chosen Rich and Oliva in the first place. But we decided to remain Rich and Oliva because we had saw no reason to change our point of view, and we ended up with a successful sale, and I think everyone was very happy.
Well, Paul and Lorraine, thank you so much for taking the time to share your experience with us.
That's okay. Obviously the people who bought this property, we hope that they have as much enjoyment as we did over the last 11 and a half years. And whilst we may never move from the place we're moving to, we would recommend Rich and Oliva to anyone and everybody as far as buying property in the Croydon Park area.
And there you have it, another satisfied customer of Rich and Oliva. Thanks for tuning in to the Owner and Investor series, and we look forward to seeing you next time.